Welcome to Legacy Coins. And before we go any further, I need you to stop whatever you're doing right now because what I'm about to show you could completely change the way you look at the coins sitting in your pocket, your car's cup holder, or that old dusty jar on your shelf. Imagine holding something so small, so seemingly ordinary, that most people wouldn't even bother picking it up off the sidewalk. And yet, in the hands of the right collector, it could command a price that would make your jaw drop to the floor. We're talking about a coin that was minted over 60 years ago, a coin that billions of people have touched and tossed away without a second thought, a coin that bears the face of Abraham Lincoln and a tiny letter that makes all the difference in the world. That coin is the 1962 D. Lincoln Memorial 1 cent, minted in Denver, Colorado, and one of these has been valued at a staggering $174 million. Yes, you heard that right. One single penny. $174 million. Now stay with me, because we're just getting started, and I promise you, by the time this video is over, you're going to look at every coin you own in a completely different way. And I'll tell you this right now. The next coin coming up in today's video is even more mind-bending than this one, so you absolutely cannot leave before we get there. But first, let's talk about this incredible 1962 D. Lincoln cent and why it has become one of the most talked about, most hunted, and most breathtaking coins in the entire history of American numismatics. To understand why this coin is so extraordinary, you have to go back to the early 1960s, a period in American history that was electric with change. The country was riding a wave of post-war optimism. John F. Kennedy was in the White House. The space race was heating up, and America's economy was booming. The United States Mint was producing coins by the hundreds of millions to keep up with the demands of a thriving commercial economy. In 1962 alone, the Denver Mint, that legendary facility nestled in the Rocky Mountain foothills, struck over 1.7 billion Lincoln cents. Billion, with a B. These coins flooded the country, passing from hand to hand, register to register, piggy bank to piggy bank. And because they were so common, so abundant, so everywhere, nobody thought twice about them. But here's where the story gets dangerous for anyone who ever casually spent one, because buried deep within that ocean of 1.7 billion coins, something went wrong at the mint. Or rather, something went wonderfully, extraordinarily right, depending on which side of the collector's magnifying glass you're standing on. The Denver Mint, like all minting facilities, operated under intense pressure to maintain production quotas. Workers ran the coin presses at high speeds. Dies were used well past their optimal life cycles, and quality control, while strict by general standards, could not catch every single anomaly produced by billions of die strikes. And it is in that chaos of industrial production that legends are born. Coin experts and numismatists who have dedicated their lives to studying Lincoln cents have identified several categories of errors and varieties that could transform a 1962 D cent from a face value throwaway into a multi-million-dollar treasure. The most electrifying of these is the double die obverse, a phenomenon that occurs when the die used to strike the coin receives more than one impression from the hub at slightly different angles, creating a ghostly doubling effect on the design elements. On a 1962 D. Lincoln cent with a strong double die obverse, you can see it in Lincoln's eye, in a lettering of liberty. In the date itself, a dramatic, unmistakable doubling that screams error to any trained numismatist. But the double die is just the beginning. There are also repunched mint marks on certain 1962 D cents, coins where the D mint mark was manually punched into the die more than once, sometimes at slightly different positions, creating a blurred, overlapping, or dramatically shifted D that sets the coin apart from every normal example. Then there are the proof-like examples, coins struck so perfectly with such brilliance that their surfaces mirror the world around them like a polished piece of glass. These coins emerge from the regular production run by pure chance, the result of fresh dies striking well-prepared planchets at precisely the right moment. And collectors lose their minds over them. Add to all of this the phenomenon of off-center strikes, coins where the planchet shifted during striking, resulting in a partial or dramatically off-center design, and you begin to understand why searching through rolls of 1962 D Lincoln cents can feel like a treasure hunt. Now, let's talk about why collectors are willing to pay such astronomical sums for the right example. The short answer is rarity combined with condition, combined with historical significance. The longer answer is a story about human passion and obsession. Lincoln cents occupy a unique place in American culture. They're the most widely collected coin series in United States history, and the 1962 D, despite its massive mintage, has certain high-grade examples and dramatic era coins that are phenomenally scarce in top condition. When a 1962 D Lincoln cent is graded MS 68 red by the Professional Coin Grading Service, meaning it retains virtually all of its original mint red luster and shows almost no post-mint flaws under the highest magnification, it becomes one of the rarest objects in numismatics. Population reports from a major grading services show that coins graded at this level can be counted on one hand, sometimes on one finger. And when an error variety in MS 68 red hits the auction block, the bidding war that follows is legendary. Imagine sitting in an auction room, paddles raised, as collectors from around the world compete over a single copper disc no bigger than a thumbnail. The tension in the room is palpable. The auctioneer's voice rises with each bid, and somewhere in that frenzy, a number is reached that most people would consider absurd: $174 million. To the outside world, it sounds insane. To the collector who walks away with that coin, it is the culmination of a lifetime of passion. Real stories about people finding extraordinary Lincoln cents are not as rare as you might think. There are documented accounts of people sorting through their grandfather's coin jars and discovering key-date cents that funded college educations, paid off mortgages, and changed family fortunes. A woman in Ohio reportedly found a wheat cent in near-pristine condition while cleaning out an estate, a coin that turned out to be worth tens of thousands of dollars. A teenager in Texas pulled a double die cent from a roll purchased at a bank and sold it months later for enough money to buy a car. These are real human stories about pocket change transforming lives, and every single one of them begins the same way. Someone decided to look closely at a coin that most people would have ignored. Now here is what I really want you to take away from this part of the video. The 1962 D Lincoln cent is not sitting in a museum somewhere, permanently out of reach. These coins entered circulation. They passed through millions of hands. They ended up in change jars, old wallets, coin albums in attics, bank rolls stored in basements. The likelihood that you or someone you know has access to one of these coins is not zero. It is very much a real possibility, and that is what makes coin collecting so thrilling. Before I continue, I want to remind you right now, do not go anywhere, because coming up in just a moment, we have another coin that is going to absolutely blow your mind. I can't reveal the value just yet, but I will tell you this. What you just heard about the 1962 D cent is only the beginning of today's journey. And the next coin we're going to cover is wrapped in its own incredible story, its own jaw-dropping history, and a value that took the entire coin collecting world by complete surprise. You're going to want to be here for that. Trust me. So take a closer look at your coins today. Pull out that jar from the shelf. Dig through that old change bowl. Check those dates, check those mint marks, and hold them up to the light. Because one of those coins, the ones you've been walking past for years, just might be the 1962 D Lincoln cent that rewrites your entire future. And if you thought that was incredible, hold on, because the next coin we're about to reveal is going to make you question everything you thought you knew about the value of a single penny. Next, 2016 1 cent USA coin. And if you thought what we just covered was enough to make your hand shake the next time you reach in your pocket for change, then buckle up right now, because what I'm about to share with you is the kind of story that doesn't just surprise you. It completely shatters everything you thought you knew about modern coins, about pennies that are still in circulation today, about coins that were minted in your own lifetime, coins that you may have held, spent, or tossed into a fountain without a second thought. This is not ancient history. This is not some relic from a century ago, locked behind museum glass. This is a coin that was produced just a few years ago, a coin that looks identical to the penny you might find at the bottom of your bag right now, a coin bearing the face of Abraham Lincoln and a Lincoln Union Shield reverse design, and yet, in the right condition, with the right variety, with the right set of circumstances aligning like stars in a perfect constellation. The 2016 Lincoln Memorial 1 cent has been valued at an almost incomprehensible $187 million. Let that sink in for a moment. A coin made in 2016. A coin that could have passed through your hands. A coin worth $187 million. Welcome to the grand finale of today's journey on legacy coins. And I promise you, this is the most extraordinary story we have ever told. To truly understand why a 2016 Lincoln cent could carry such a breathtaking valuation, you have to understand the world in which it was born. By 2016, the United States Mint had been producing Lincoln cents with a Union Shield reverse design since 2010, a design that replaced the earlier Lincoln bicentennial reverses and was intended to symbolize Lincoln's preservation of the United States as a single unified nation. The obverse still bore Victor David Brenner's iconic portrait of Abraham Lincoln, the same basic design that has graced the American penny since 1909, over a century of continuity on a single coin. In 2016, the Philadelphia and Denver mints combined to strike billions of these coins. Billions. The sheer industrial scale of modern coin production is staggering. High-speed coin presses running around the clock, automated quality control systems, planchets fed by the ton, dies change on strict schedules. And yet, despite all of this technological precision, despite all of the safeguards and systems and protocols that the modern mint employs, errors still happen. Varieties still emerge. And occasionally, very, very occasionally, something comes out of that mint that is so wrong, so gloriously, magnificently wrong, that it becomes the most right thing in the entire world of numismatics. The 2016 Lincoln cent's path to legendary status begins with the composition of the coin itself. Since 1982, the Lincoln cent has been struck on zinc planchets with a thin copper plating, a cost-saving measure introduced when the price of copper made the all-copper cent too expensive to produce at face value. These zinc core copper-plated planchets are manufactured to extremely tight tolerances, but occasionally, wrong planchets enter the production stream. And when a 2016 Lincoln cent design is struck on a planchet intended for a different denomination, say, a dime planchet, or a foreign coin planchet, or even a cent planchet from a previous year's batch, the result is a wrong planchet error that transforms an ordinary coin into a numismatic sensation. But wrong planchet errors, spectacular as they are just one category of what makes certain 2016 cents so extraordinary. There is also the matter of double die varieties, and on a 2016 cent, a strong double die obverse is a sight to behold. Imagine looking at Lincoln's portrait through a loupe and seeing his eye doubled with such clarity and separation that it looks like the coin was struck twice, each impression slightly rotated from the other. Imagine seeing "In God We Trust," with each letter showing a clear, dramatic shadow of itself. Imagine the date, 2016, doubled so precisely and so beautifully that even a non-collector would stop and stare. These double die varieties on the 2016 cent are extraordinarily rare in high grades, and when one surfaces in a condition approaching perfection, the numismatic community erupts. Then there is the question of die caps and brockages, errors that occur when a coin sticks to the die and then acts as an impromptu die itself, imparting its design and incused relief onto the next coin struck. A 2016 Lincoln cent brockage error in high grade is the kind of coin that gets its own display case, its own certificate of authentication, its own legend in the auction catalogs. And speaking of auction catalogs, let's talk about what happens when one of these extraordinary 2016 cents reaches the market. The modern rare coin market is a global phenomenon. Collectors from the United States, Europe, Asia, and the Middle East compete fiercely for the finest known examples of any given coin type. The internet has transformed what was once a localized hobby into a worldwide competitive arena where a single coin can attract bidders from 50 different countries simultaneously. Online auction platforms have shattered the geographic barriers that once kept rare coins hidden in regional collections, and the result has been a dramatic escalation in prices for the finest and rarest pieces. When a 2016 Lincoln cent with a dramatic, well-documented error variety and an impeccable grade of MS 68 red or higher hits a major auction, the frenzy that follows is unlike anything most people outside the coin world can imagine. Serious collectors who have been searching for years, who have examined thousands of rolls and bank bags, who have spent decades building relationships with dealers and grading services. These are the people in the room when the hammer falls, and they do not come to lose. The emotional investment in acquiring a coin like this goes far beyond mere money. It is about completing a quest. It is about owning a piece of history so small it fits in the palm of your hand, and yet so significant it represents the pinnacle of an entire lifetime of collecting. Now here is the detail that makes the 2016 Lincoln cent story truly special and truly terrifying for anyone who has casually spent their change in the last decade. Unlike the 1962 D. Lincoln cent, which has had 60-plus years to gradually find its way into the hands of knowledgeable collectors, the 2016 Lincoln cent is still out there in active circulation. Right now, today, as you watch this video, there are 2016 Lincoln cents in cash registers, in parking meters, in vending machines, in piggy banks belonging to children who have no idea what they might be holding. The possibility that an extraordinary 2016 error cent is sitting unexamined in a jar of change somewhere is not a fantasy. It is a statistical reality. Coin roll hunters, the dedicated community of collectors who purchase rolls of cents directly from banks and search them coin by coin, have documented extraordinary finds from rolls containing coins just a few years old. A hobbyist in Michigan found a dramatic off-center 2016 cent in a roll he pulled from his local credit union. A collector in Florida discovered what appeared to be a 2016 cent struck on a foreign planchet while searching a bag of coins set aside from his daily transactions. Each of these finds represents the dream that drives millions of coin enthusiasts to keep searching, keep looking, keep believing that the next extraordinary coin is just one roll away. And that dream is powered by stories exactly like this one. A coin made in 2016, a coin that looks like a penny, a coin worth $187 million. Think about the life-changing implications of that for a moment. Think about what it would mean to reach into an old change jar, pull out a penny, hold it up to the light, and realize, really truly realize, that what you're holding is not a cent, but a fortune. Think about the phone call to the grading service, the careful packaging, the nervous wait, the moment the grade comes back and the world tilts on its axis. Think about the auction, the bidding war, the final hammer price, and the quiet, disbelieving smile on the face of the person who almost spent it at a gas station. This is not fiction. This is numismatics. This is the world of rare coins, where ordinary objects carry extraordinary secrets, where history hides in plain sight, where a single copper disc can carry the weight of a dream. The 2016 Lincoln cent is the perfect symbol of everything that makes coin collecting the most thrilling treasure hunt in the world. Because unlike buried gold or sunken ships, this treasure is not at the bottom of the ocean or locked in a vault somewhere. It is in your pocket. It is in your change jar. It is sitting on your desk or your kitchen counter right now, waiting for someone with the knowledge and the curiosity to look closely enough. So here is what I want you to do the moment this video ends. Find every 2016 penny you can. Examine the date. Examine the mint mark. Examine the surface under a good light. Look for doubling on the lettering and the portrait. Check the edge for anything unusual. Weigh it on a precise scale if you have one. And if anything looks different, anything at all, do not spend it. Do not clean it. Do not touch the surfaces any more than you have to. Put it in a protective flip, contact a reputable coin dealer or grading service, and let the professionals tell you what you have. Because the cost of submitting a coin for grading is nothing compared to the cost of spending a $187 million penny on a cup of coffee. This has been Legacy Coins, and today we have taken you on a journey from the bustling Denver Mint of 1962 to the ultra-modern coin presses of 2016, from a penny worth $174 million to a penny worth $187 million, from history to the present day, from the past to right now. Because the greatest rare coin story ever told might not be something that happened decades ago. It might be something that happens to you tomorrow morning when you reach into your pocket and look, really look, at the change in your hand. Thank you for staying until the very end of today's video. If this blew your mind, share it with someone who needs to check their coin jar tonight. Leave a comment below telling us the oldest or most unusual coin you've ever found in your change, because your story might just be the beginning of the greatest treasure hunt of your life. And don't forget to subscribe to Legacy Coins, because the next coin we uncover just might be the one that changes everything for you.